Yeah.
Hey, welcome back into BBN Unfiltered, where Kentucky fans tell it like it is. We are back YouTube Live. I am joined in here with Chris Adams. Chris, welcome back to the show, man. You were on our last show. We took a 2 week break. Wanted some stuff to go right in the portal in between the end of the season to now. That's why I kind of wanted to hold off until I did another live show, but I couldn't hold off anymore. Chris, again, welcome in, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just same thing you just said. I've not been doing a whole lot on my channel, just kind of waiting to see how the portal plays out. I was real excited Monday night, and it felt like I did when Wall and Cousins Island was here, and then span of 24 hours, I was in depression, and now we'll see what happens, I guess, with it.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's the new era of Kentucky off season. We get to the immediate postseason, and it's just straight up scramble mode, right? And we're sitting here thinking like, and listen, you all listeners that are tuned in, I think that you all know what our opinions of for Mark Pope, and we've been hitting it over and over again for the last several months. And you listeners of Chris, y'all know probably even more so than me. And listen, I want to be straight up and upfront. For me in particular, I can't speak for Chris. I want the man to succeed at the highest rate possible.
Absolutely.
I want him to surpass Adolph Rupp, okay? Like, it's not like people are so quick to say, oh, you're just a Mark Pope hater and you're rooting against him and you're going against one of our own. No, I'm not going against him, but I will tell you, okay, shit ain't looking good. This looks ridiculous, et cetera, et cetera. We can keep on going on down the rabbit hole, and you know that, Chris. But the reality is, man, like, here we are 10 days into the portal opening, and we got one player.
Yeah. I've had some people saying, "Oh, you're on board with Pope now." Here's the thing. I've did a lot of positive videos lately. I don't know if anybody's, and I said, I'm going to be up front. No, I think everybody knows if it were me, he would have never been here in the first place. And I did everything I could to get him fired this year. But here's the deal. I know we have him another year now, and what am I going to do? Complain all summer? I have no other choice but to support him.
Wait, yeah.
And the way the portal, like I said, Monday night, I was like, if we get these guys, like I don't get excited over much anymore, but I was like, we can compete for the national championship. And then I thought for sure that we were going to get Rob right. And then when that backfired,
Yeah.
then it was like Tuesday and Wednesday. I was like, man, I still have a little hope though, honestly.
I have some hope.
About.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have some hope, but would I have preferred Rob Wright? Yeah, I think so. But I will say, and one of my biggest complaints was pretty much all year was, man, I want a bruiser point guard who is physical, who can handle the physicality of the SEC, who can get down there and grind and get body to body and be a rebounding point guard. You know, someone who's like the size of like Isaiah Briscoe type. I mean, Zoom Diallo is built like a damn running back.
Yes, he is.
He is. So, man, I've been begging for it.
And my live chat last night, they were asking me about him, and I said, and here's my opinion on it. We're getting guys that even the guys he's looking at, Freeman and Wilkerson, the one thing I don't think they can do is shoot the ball from the perimeter. Yeah. And that's what Pope wants to do. I said, if he will adjust, take Rick this year, for example, at St. John's. Yeah. They were terrible. When we beat them, they were terrible, but he adjusted to what he had. I mean, if he can adjust to what he has, it'll be fine. But that's not.
Brother, that's coaching. That's
exactly.
That's straight up coaching. Like you know your roster and you understand what your strengths are. Did he try to do that this year? Maybe. I don't know. It was hard to tell, but I think that he couldn't really figure out what their strength was pretty much from from October 1 to April 1. So
No, that team
um,
had no identity, like no
here's the
identity
thing.
all along.
Here's my thing. Okay, we got Malachi back, right? We are. I'm going to assume, and I can't fully assume it because Braden Hawthorne said, quote unquote, "Man, I hadn't even thought about it for real, for real." First off, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
I'd if I was his dad, I'd smack his ass in the side of the head.
Yeah.
Come on, man. But I'm gonna assume that he's on the roster next year. Zone Diallo, like you just said, let's surround these guys with some shooting weapons.
Yeah.
We have to. We can't have a team full of guys who can't put the ball in the bucket from beyond 12 feet. Otherwise, they're just going to pack the paint like they did this year, and we're going to be like playing hero ball with whoever can just get close to the rim and throw it up.
Right. Zone, to start the process, I said if we got Wright, Stokes, and Freeman,
Yeah.
and just surround those with role players, that we could probably compete for a national championship next year. Now,
Sure,
and
sure.
we still got a chance with those other two guys. So it's like
I think, man,
when the smoke
what?
cleared, I was like,
Yeah, I mean, what Jeff Goodman says, he's predicting Freeman to Kentucky.
I'll say
Yeah.
it's
Hey, Brandon. Here, I'm gonna put this up on the
go
chat
ahead.
real quick. Yeah. So Brandon McAfee, that's a great point. I was going to bring this up. Derek Anderson said that the 96 group chat with Pope and all those guys is all still alive and well. And he says that there's times where they bash him on the chat. There's times where, and this is quote unquote Derek Anderson, man. This ain't me. Listen, this ain't BBN Unfiltered just throwing out horse shit. This is me just speaking what Derek Anderson said. He said there's times where we'll type in stuff in the group chat, but then we'll delete it because it might be too brutal.
I
But
would
may
say.
but maybe Mark Pope, y'all, needs to hear the brutality from his peers from that championship team and say, hey, dude, what is going on? Get your crap together and play some freaking ball, man. Like, don't. Why are we afraid to be brutal?
I don't. That's just his personality. I mean, he's buddy with them. I mean, he's
I mean,
not
and that's
that.
fine. Be buddy, but dude, we just got busted by Vanderbilt by 35. It ain't time to be buddy.
All right. I don't know how. I'm sure you heard what Goodman said about Stokes and Pope.
What'd he say?
He said he didn't know if Pope could handle Stokes. I mean, he's going to have to figure out. And when I found out I was coming on here, I did even more research. And
Okay.
Stokes is rough, man. Like it's going to take. He's not a choir boy, to say the least. And
I've in a roundabout way, I've heard the same stuff.
oh,
And listen, man, here's the thing, and we've said this. I don't care, and like the locker room practice, it could be a complete shit show for all I care. But if we're piling up W's in the column of the regular
so it
season,
matters.
that's all that matters. And could it be ugly? Did we win with some guys that were a little bit of a problem in the locker room that we maybe just didn't know about? Listeners, you guys, if you don't think that's the case, if you think every Calipari player was sunshine and rainbows and they showed up to class on time and they abided by all the rules, you're fooling yourselves if you think that. You just are. Like,
And
and
we
that,
just
yeah,
we
I
just had a
mean,
coach that didn't tell everything on the in the presser after the
and
game.
and it is and Chris, that's a great point. It's their
I'm telling
job.
you.
It's their job not to tell
Ex-
everything.
Exactly.
That they need to keep certain things that are hush hush. And Mark Pope has a bad case of word vomit
He
at
does.
times that just he can't control.
Here's what I want to say about Pope because I've
Go
been
ahead.
fair to him lately. I think a lot of people think that's just what a coach is. Coaches just like players, guys. They get better too. I mean,
Sure.
they have bad years, and I'm sure that he's looking at some of the criticism like I've got to be tougher on these guys. I think they've been good about more patience in the portal. maybe too much patience for us or whatever. But like the Auburn press conference, the post game press conference, if you're making excuses, that filters down to your locker room, man. It just that your players are, coach is making excuses to why we got beat. So, but I got high. I mean, I have no other choice to have hopes for this upcoming year. If we can get Freeman and Wilkerson, I'll be and
Listen, I like Wilkins. Is it Wilkins? Alex
Wilkins, yeah,
Wilkins from
Alex Wilkins, yep,
Furman. Hey, I like him. His shooting percentages were not great. I think that was due to a lot of inflated shot selection just based on where he is and him
right.
taking more shots than he really needed to take. I think you get him into a system to where he can play ball with guys that are his talent level and above, and he gets more wide open shots and he gets a better shot and he shoots it at a better clip than he did at Furman, to where he was the number one go-to option and he was just at times throwing up crap. So I think that 32% three could be more of like a 36, 37, which at that point, if you anything above 35 in my eye, that's a pretty good 3-point shooter if you're putting up shot.
Yeah, I was sitting. It's hard to do this right now without the complete roster put together. But I was just thinking, what
It is.
if we got him? What's Pope thinking? Is is he going to be the backup? Is he going to play him and Zoom together? What's Williams' role? And if you have three ball handlers, remember the COVID year that got shut down? That's why I thought we was going to win it all. The season, we had three ball handlers, and I
So
was like, it's hard to.
I think Wilkins is more of a two guard. I think he's a scoring two guard. I think he could play backup point guard if need be. If we don't get another point guard, if we're looking at another year to where we don't have a true backup point guard,
Oh,
surely to God that
surely to
won't be the
God,
case.
surely to God. Just wait.
But but
Let's cover that position. Let's cover that.
we've seen crazier things happen though, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah, John, he's definitely a two guard for sure. Brandon says Wilkins reminds me of SGA. Poor man's SGA, maybe. Listen, guys, he's a freshman. He's a 6'5", lanky, long, athletic. He can get his shot off almost anywhere on the court. And what was the theme at the end of the year? What was one of the themes that Mark Pope preached on in Tom Leach's postseason interview? We need shot creators, right? We need some guys who can create their own offense in a last minute situation to where the defense is so tight, a drawn up play ain't always going to work out, and you can't always just depend on Ortega getting downhill and scoring.
that's what we have to. A lot of people don't realize we've not seen a game with no Ortega in the Mark Pope era. And to
Yeah,
me, I don't know what you think about it. He's one of my favorite players of all time at
I love
Kentucky. Like
Ortega. Yeah,
he was a walking bucket. Like if we weren't making shots, he was that guy that we could throw the ball to. And we got to replace that. And can Zoom do it? I don't.
Zoom. I think Zoom. He's not.
Exactly.
First off, I don't think, guys, let's not look at Zoom as like he's going to be our leading scorer. He's not. He's not a leading scorer type of basketball player, guys. He he is designed to be a physical, tough point guard who is a floor general, who's a rebounding point guard who can withstand the physicality, the pressure, like a lot of what we saw against Iowa State, to where that stuff would be like he's grasping the ball and he can pass out of it, throw over top of it, but create for his teammates. He is not going to score 25 a game, you guys.
He's a Robin.
Yeah.
We need a Batman.
We need a Batman.
He's a really good Robin. That's what I see. But now if we got Stokes, all this the roster start looking really good.
It does. I agree. I agree. So Chris, man, I'm with you. I am trying to be, and I want to be, Mr. Optimistic. And like you said, he's here. 26, 27, Mark Pope will be the head coach of Kentucky men's basketball. I'm behind him. Will I call him out when I see complete bullcrap? Yes. Will I call him out when we get busted by 30 by a team that shouldn't bust us by 30? Yes. Will I call him out when our roster looks like a mid-major roster with one or two Kentucky caliber guys? Absolutely 100 million% yes.
He's all he has to do is win. I was like, that's all he has to do. That's all. I mean, you can't lose double digit games. All these games at Rupp, and even there's bad teams you can tell they're well coached. We weren't well coached. Like it was Pope had a bad year. Let's just call it like it. The
He had
first
a
year was
bad.
the first year. People call the first year great. I don't call it great, but he had a better first year. Last year it was a train wreck from
Train
his
wreck. I agree.
his,
I
his
would call the first year acceptable.
yeah, exactly.
I would call it acceptable. And I mean, you think back to, man, what if we had Jackson Robinson in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
I mean, remember what he did against, was it Mississippi State? He had like 8 threes
Yeah,
against Miss State at their place. I mean, you put a guy like that out there, come on.
yeah, the injuries. I mean, they have played a little factor. I'll give him that.
Dougie Hudson says that Sebastian, is it Rankich, Rancic or
I can't get
whatever?
his name right.
I
I
don't
know
know
what
how the
he's.
hell to say his name. He does. He reminds me of an Andrew Carr, but a little bit more mobile,
That is an excellent.
a little bit more of a creator. Um, but I like the style of play. You know what? And I texted Coach Kyle earlier today. I said, "Why are we not going after that big white dude from Iowa State?" And then within the last couple hours, I saw it come up, and I said, "Kentucky in the mix with, what's his name, Milan Mirakulovic or something
You
like
did
that."
see that? I've not. I've been asking the same thing. If we
Yeah,
get him,
I did. Here it is in the mix. Here he is right here.
if we
So
could get him, that's a guy who can just go get a bucket.
Milan Momkovic, but I think he's NBA draft first and foremost. If he doesn't hear what he wants to hear from NBA personnel, then he'll withdraw his name, and then I think we have a shot. It said that Kentucky, Kansas, and I believe, oh, there was one more school. I can't remember who else it was. It was us, Kansas, and one other school that was in the mix for him, evidently.
Kansas needs to mind their own business for a year. We let them have.
Why are we always in a fight with them?
Who was we in a battle with? Wiggins with Kansas. Yeah, Wiggins.
Wiggins and what Nerlens too?
Maybe.
No, you remember Xavier Henry?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got him to the Wiggins. That broke my heart that year. I was like, "You gotta be kidding
We
me,
thought we were
man!"
getting him. I remember that.
I did. I
I
did.
remember.
That's why It's kind of like God give us one when it's up against Kansas here. Have you heard everything about? I don't know if you've heard everything about Stokes. That
Here's a question for you, Chris.
Go ahead.
You see that on the chat?
No,
It says Chris Adams on the show. I have a question for you. Heard he was a police officer. Is that the truth?
no.
The answer is no, Christopher.
Heard I was a police officer.
Man, I wouldn't want your ass pulling me over with them big ass arms.
Nah, I'm getting old.
So hey, listen, I'm going to the spring game tomorrow if weather permits.
We'll be there.
Are you going?
Yeah, we just went to a rally house, and my wife said, "Let's just go to rally house. We'll get a few things." Well, $500 later, she got a few things, and no, I'm not kidding. She'd probably hear me in there. I said, "How much expensive a poncho you need?" But
I mean, if it's like we're calling for like scattered thunderstorms, and I was gonna bring my son, and he's getting into football, and I was like, man, let's obviously the general admission tickets were free, so I grabbed 6 of them, and we're gonna go check them out, man. If weather permits, I'm gonna be there.
I'll check the hourly right here. I'm very excited for Will Stein now.
I
I've
mean,
already
we might become a football school real quick.
listen. Here's the latest they've accused me. You can't win as a podcaster sometimes. Not that I
No,
care. You got to
no, we
have thick
can't ever
skin.
win.
So anybody who's followed me the last few weeks, positive about Pope, I kind of reset. I've hit the reset button. Like, I'm not on board with him, but I'm not going to criticize him all summer. And two or three people heard a few shows about Will Stein. Oh, you're going to hold Pope accountable for things you're going to give Stein a pass for Pope, and I'm just like, the expectations are a little different in football.
Way different. Way different, number one. Number two, they haven't played any games yet.
Right.
So if we come out and lose to like Eastern Michigan, am I going to come on here and start bitching and moaning? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
It says right here 24% chance at kickoff.
Okay. So it's cleared
It
up a little bit.
it increased like around one-ish. That's me. I can't go sit in a little sprinkling I can
I
deal
mean,
with.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have my 8-year-old and 5-year-old boys
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's
with
just
me.
me and my
So
wife. It's just me and my wife
I
going.
asked my 8-year-old son. I said, hey man, let's go to this game tomorrow. He has like some random fears. He said, so what if we get lost? I said, what? Do you not believe that I can navigate? We can navigate from the car to the stadium, watch the game, and come back to the car. Is that what you think of me as a father? Come on, man.
What if we get lost?
He said, what if we get lost? I said, what does that even mean?
So he's never been.
No, we went. So I took him to the UK Florida game in 2023, which, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, that may have been the last SEC game we won in conference at Kroger Field. I don't know. I
It may have
mean,
been.
no joke, it may have been. And so that would have UK Florida 2023, and it was a September day. It was hot. It was crowded, and at the time, let's see, he would have been 6.
No,
He
we
was.
crushed Florida last year. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. At home. At home. Yeah. He was only 6 years old, and he's just like, I mean, he was in awe. Like he had never really seen like the big crowd, and so he was a little bit shook. So we only stayed until halftime, 2 quarters.
You're lucky, man. I have all girls, and like my wife's real. She she's not allowed to go to road games because she gets into it, and
She
my
gets a.
daughter, my 26-year-old feeds off that. My 9-year-old feeds off that, and I'm just like, would you all shut up arguing with fans? I mean, but yeah, that's kind of
I
how it
think,
goes.
man, my sister. So my sister and brother-in-law went to the Kentucky Iowa bowl game the year we won it. What was that? That would have been. Gosh, what year is it?
Um,
Was that
I don't know
Kentucky
what the
Iowa the
hell.
year we won? So not the following year where we played them again and got beat. But she came back and she said, "Yeah, we went, had a couple White Claws, and got into a fight with a group of Iowa fans."
That happened. Football.
I mean, that
Football's that sport.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, how you? I'll be glad when the portal's over so I can sleep at night. I mean, I hit like the refresh button.
The
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
and I was asking the guy that works for me in my office. I know that the portal closes on the 21st, but they don't. What is their deadline to commit?
I don't. It's
I
still
don't know
confusing to
either.
me.
I was googling it. I could not find a set in stone date of when the portal and of when the portal entries have to make a decision. I mean,
I
I
couldn't
know
find it.
surely they can't just sit there all season and just take bids after bid.
It's still. I think it's still a work in process, and nobody knows. That's kind of like.
How do we not know this?
So I'm
I mean,
assuming it says the 22nd. Is that like midnight or I don't know?
what the 22nd would be midnight of the 21st. So, but that's the last you can enter the portal up until midnight leading into the
That's crazy.
22nd. But that doesn't say that you have to commit by that
No, it
point.
doesn't.
I mean, we're talking, bro, That's Wednesday. That's Tuesday night. You have to commit by. There's no way. I mean, we got hundreds of players that are uncommitted.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like I'm trying to learn more
Austin
and more
says,
about it.
"Isn't it May 1st?" Man, I don't know. I
It
don't
may
know.
be.
I
You
wish
may,
one of y'all figure that out because I couldn't figure it. I tried to Google it. The guy who works for me tried to Google it. We couldn't figure out what it was.
and they're tweaking it so much. Next year, the rules will be a little bit different because they're just. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to be honest. You got
It
20.
is, and I think again, like kind of how I led off the show, like I think once we get to the conclusion of the season, it becomes absolute chaos. And we're all like, okay, who's staying? Who's leaving? Whose value goes up? Whose value goes down? Who may get a waiver? Who may not? Who's going to the draft? Who's not? Who's going to the draft with the option to come back? Who's not? I mean, there's so, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna Zoom meeting this guy. We're gonna meet this guy downtown on campus. We're gonna fly across the country and meet this guy and watch him play. Like, we need like 25 coaches.
Yeah, I know. I tell you one of the reasons, like I said, I've not did as much content, and here's the reason. I don't like people ask me, "Do you know anything about this? You know anything about that?" I don't like giving out information and it not being correct.
Yeah.
And there's a couple guys that's in the know at UK that I talk to that I trust,
Yeah.
and they started off. One of my guys said Chandler's gone, and this is an hour before I listened to Matt Jones say that uh, Chandler would probably start at the 3 this year. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, I don't know about that. Well, 45 minutes later, the news broke. So he got
Really?
that. Yes. So he got that correct. And I've known this guy a long time. So he got that correct. The same guy also told me, and not his fault. A lot of people thought this, that it's a lock. Rob Wright's going to be our point guard. So I
I saw that
posted.
too, man. I saw
So
that too.
so I posted, I said 90%, and then it was wrong. I learned my lesson in the portal. I said nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
That
Jeff Goodman said, "Oh, Kentucky has to screw this up."
yeah,
What?
exactly. That's why I was like, nobody's fault. I'm not saying nobody was bullshitting me or anything like that. I'm just nobody really knows. 'Cause people
Nobody
said,
really knows. I mean, I think our staff is doing they're doing a really good job of keeping things hush hush.
yeah,
And the speculations obviously are coming out hot right now because that's what gets you clicks. That's what gets you content and comments and likes and whatever it is. It just gets your name out there. But there's just so much crap. And what I said, man, I'm trying to hold off to do a show because I want to have at least 2 commits. I thought we were going to get a commit today, you guys.
me and you
I
talked
thought,
earlier, and I was
yeah,
like,
I
it'd
thought
give us a
maybe
little
Freeman,
something.
Wilkins. I thought we were going to get somebody to get today. Nope.
And it could happen. I remember last year, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, people were.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, it
Yeah.
happen at any time. But like you said, it's one of the reasons I've held off doing content or anything like that. I'm like, I'll spend the whole show on 3 or 4 players, and they won't even sign with us. And then you know what I'm saying. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
best just
mean,
to
we
say,
we got all these names being thrown out, all these graphics. Every guy that's even speculated, they'll put him in a Kentucky jersey. They'll put him, in Rupp Arena shooting. Dude, like it just makes us feel like, okay, we're connected to a guy, we're gonna get him, and then the next day he leaves campus, so and so commits to, wherever else.
if we,
I did see where Freeman took off the Yukon visit.
yeah, and that when they signed, who was it, Haynes from Seton Hall, UConn signed Haynes from Seton Hall, and when that happened, that gave me hope. Freeman is one of the guys. When the portal started, I said I really want him. I love the Wisconsin kid Blackwell. I don't know why we've not
I
he
haven't
must
even seen any like inkling that
nothing
we're even
like
in the
nothing.
running with him.
Exactly, and I said at the beginning I'd rather have him than Stokes. I mean, but I've not even heard he must not be not interested at all
Yeah,
in playing for us. But
yeah,
people's did a lot of what ifs. What if we get this player? So I went strengths, and I was major on Freeman, and I still want Freeman here. I broke him down yesterday. There's some red flag stuff, but you don't know if it's all him or not. Obviously, a great athlete. Doesn't shoot well from the perimeter. He only had 23 offensive rebounds last year. And
that and what, the Big East?
yeah. But I was like, it could be an effort thing. It could be that's how
Listen,
Syracuse.
hey,
That's how Syracuse is.
if we're sitting here talking about effort next year, I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
BBN Unfiltered may not exist anymore because I don't think that I'll be able to stomach it. I truly don't think I'd be able to stomach it.
I was one of those guys. I tell a lot of my people, I want Freeman, and that was my number one. And then I said 23 offensive rebounds. I'm somebody who plays fantasy sports and everything, so I know it's very unusual. I was like, no way.
So break it down. How many games? 30 something games.
It was he averaged a little under one a game.
Yeah,
offensive rebounds.
We all know offensive rebounding, that is effort.
Yeah, and if you're a post player,
if you're what, he's 6'9".
Yeah, and they're and it could be a lot of factors into that.
I'd be willing. I'm not going to look up my stats from when I played college ball. I can guarantee you I got more than 23 offensive rebounds in all 4 seasons I played.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll throw that out right there, you guys.
And I'm not, and I want to make it clear, because last night I talked about every player in my live chat, broke down I said, Zoom is not a great outside shooter. He's not a good outside shooter.
Yeah.
He's playing for a coach that wants to shoot the three.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Pope has to adjust to what he has. And I said, Freeman's not a good outside shooter. Everybody we're recruiting, or we're going to get, we're going to have, this is not going to be a great perimeter shooting team unless we sign some people that, we don't know about yet. But he's going to have to adjust his thinking or whatever.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, Lamont Butler wasn't an excellent outside shooter, but we surrounded him with elite level shooters.
Yeah.
So we got Zoom. Honestly, I think Freeman's pending, man. I think Freeman's pending. And
that's Alabama.
Let's surround these guys with some knockdown shooters. You got to get them. You got to get them. If we're going to play Mark Pope offense, which evidently is 3-point shooting, shoot 30, 35 threes a game, then we got to get them. And they can't be guys that have to be set up. A lot of them have to be able to create their own shot off the dribble, off of a ball screen, and off of a handoff.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the Williams kid. I mean, he's Mo's kid, so he's probably a high IQ player. But
I think that was a dual purpose hire, to where a dual purpose recruit with a hire comboed with that said, hey, this is a guy that can relate to my recruits, to my prospects, to the players, and then in its entirety, and make us look a little bit cooler than we've looked the last, year or so.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. We were the cool school with Cal. We were.
Yeah.
We were. And then with Mark Pope, I don't think we look all that cool. I mean, I'm just being real.
I'm not supposed to mention his name.
Okay.
You just I made a pay. I'm not supposed to. But yeah, we had a coach here once where we were never worried about having players. But but anyway, I think Jasper's headed down there.
That's what it looks like. Cool. Bye. Bye, Jasper.
Yeah.
See you later.
Let's see. And Garrison
I'm telling you right now, I don't want to see any of that horseshit play on the referee's court ever again. I'm telling you right now, I would have grabbed his jersey by the neck in the locker room and said, if you're going to play like that, I'm telling you right now, we're fighting after this game. Yeah. We're fighting. We're fist fighting after this damn game, because if you pull that shit again, I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Garrison actually had so many bad games that I think a lot of people weren't going to give him credit. We don't beat LSU without Brandon Garrison.
We don't beat Santa Clara.
Right.
We don't beat Santa Clara. Hey, we got a call in here. He's our regular call in. Let's see what Trav has for us. Trav, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? How's it going?
What's up?
Man, we're rolling. We're rolling.
Oh, I know. I'm tuned in.
What you got?
So talking about the portal, I looked it up, and the internet said
the
We
the
good?
phone,
21st.
which is the internet, right?
You
True,
sound like
true.
me.
So said that you have to commit by the 21st. I'm telling you, I don't know 100%, but I know that that's not correct. But
It can't be.
so
No.
that's when that's when the spring portal closes, which is what they call it. I think what they're trying to do, if that closes, say, the end of April, and then you've got the draft, which is right around May 29, May 30th, May 31st. The only reason I know that for sure was because PJ, after his freshman year, literally announced at 11:59 that he was coming back for his sophomore year.
That's right.
Yep. I remember that.
And then we both know that a lot of these guys, somewhere between June 3rd or June 6th, these guys normally show up for summer workouts as well. But I couldn't tell you a name to be 100%, Chris or Austin, but I know somebody committed somewhere late last year, July, August. And I think the only reason I know that,
No, you're right.
I think it was Mikey Williams, the kid that was a internet star in California. And then he got into trouble with the law, got pulled over with a gun, and then he followed Sacramento. He followed Mike Bibby to Sacramento State, which that kid is now in the portal as well. So I don't think I have an answer to your question as far as the portal, but I agree with you. There's no way these kids get 2 weeks. You can't take 6 visits in 14 days.
No. I think to speak on your point of, I know that there was a guy that committed late. That may have been like an NBA draft entry that where they had to withdraw their name from the draft.
But that would be the end of May, though. That's not June. That's not July, August. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
I mean, dude, July? That is late.
Yes, dude. It wasn't an AJ DeBanza or a Darren Peterson or something.
No, you're right though. I remember.
Don't y'all remember? Wasn't it took Jackson Robinson a long time to announce, and I want to say his bled into June. I mean, I can't remember. I wish I could remember when it was.
Amari was one. I know that. When Pope took the job, Amari was one. I think Carr was second or third. Brea was right up there.
Dude, if you remember this stuff, then.
And actually, I believe Lamont Butler might have been second. And because I think you're right. I think Jackson Robinson did bleed into June. But yeah, I'm not sure as far as like when it comes to a date, but all three of us agree it's not April 21st. I know that's not correct.
It can't be. Can't be.
Yeah.
There's no way. We're talking, that is literally in 4 days, you guys. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Right.
And then go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So getting into the portal, a lot of people, the kid, I think his last name's Brown from Utah. He's a top 20, 25 in the portal. And he just canceled his visit to Kentucky, which a lot of pages are saying, well, Kentucky's out of it. Apparently, he just lost his aunt. So he went to North Carolina, went to Kansas, had a death in the family. They're not going to hold that against him, right? Like we would have to.
Who is this now? Sorry.
His last name's Brown. He played for Utah last year.
Terrence Brown.
Yes. So he was scheduled visits mean nothing, right? The kid from Hofstra, either yesterday or 2 days ago, had a scheduled visit to Kentucky. And then last night at 9 p.m. my time, he committed to Texas Tech. So the scheduled visits don't matter, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a school and they say, well, here's the keys, here's the apartment, here's the bag full of money, and you go, you know what? I don't even need to see what anybody else is offering. I'm going to take this. And then you commit then and there.
I think the era of getting commits like on spot for Kentucky anyways, like I think we all expected that to happen this week, and it hasn't. It ain't going to.
It's not going
to. It ain't going to.
It's not.
So, like, let me ask y'all this. I'm not even, and I'd listen. You all probably keep up with it more than I, because I've been pretty busy at work. Did Zoom come here?
Yes.
Did we get him on campus? Okay.
Yeah, he was the first one, right?
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so it was several days afterwards. I think definitely he wanted to see what Rob Wright was going to do.
Right. Well,
For sure.
apparently he was pitched. Speculation. So I'm not here to say facts, but apparently speculation was he was pitched playing with Rob Wright, and he wasn't very fond of it. So you
I
can
can see
take
that. I can
you
see
can
that.
right. No, and I agree too. And I've been watching the whole show, guys. It's been fantastic, and we are talking about Stokes. I want to ask you this. Me and my cousin talked about this a couple hours ago.
Okay.
Momchilovich from Iowa State.
Yep.
Stokes doesn't know where he's at. I've heard 2 weeks. Well, we heard 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, again 2 weeks ago before that.
I wouldn't wait on him.
No, you can't. You absolutely can't.
Go after him. I know what you're gonna say. I agree.
Yes, go. He's 100. Go
I
get
throw
him.
the kitchen sink at his. Come on.
Yes,
I
but
Why
mean,
have we not? Why have we not went after the Blackwell kid from Wisconsin? He's not even been mentioned.
I
No.
think that
I
we
don't-
have, Chris. I think we have. I don't even think he's entertaining us.
All right, okay.
I mean,
Hey, this off subject a little bit. Somebody keeps asking me, is there 7'5" center just hit the portal from USC from Independence, Kentucky? Gabe, I'm trying to find it.
yeah, that's my cousin. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm serious. USC
No, I
7'5".
have no idea.
the only
Oh, yeah.
7'5" guy I know played for Missouri last year.
Who
That's
is
what it says.
that? What time is that stamped? What date and time?
55 minutes ago, Joe Tipton tweeted it.
Well, that means I haven't seen it yet because I was prepping this show.
I mean, I wasn't aware of a kid like that.
Well,
So from Independence, Kentucky. I was like, I'll dig into it after the show. Definitely.
Independence.
he's
Kyle,
leaving. He's
Kyle,
leaving
if-
because
Coach, if you're watching, what school is that? And then let's all real quick. Let's say best wishes for Coach. He just had a shoulder surgery.
Absolutely.
He's recovering. So, but I think he is tuned in. If you know what school that is in Independence, let us know. I'm not sure which one it is, but a 7'5" kid
That's
from
what it
Independence.
said.
How do we not know him? Did he play?
That's me. It says junior big man's a native of Independence, Kentucky. Now it doesn't say.
Did he move when he was like 2 years old?
I'll be finding. How we exactly? We don't know about him.
Really? Yeah. I mean, come on.
Simon Kenton High School.
So, well, that's where Coach went. Coach went to Simon Kenton.
It's what he just texted us.
Yeah. I have no idea. I've never heard of a 7'5". I mean, was he in Malachi's class?
I don't know. Joe
No,
Tipton
Junior.
So
He said junior, so that would have been 23.
So he would have been in what, Reed's class?
Reed, Rob, Bradshaw.
if he played, I mean,
If he played at Simon, there's no way he played at Simon Kenton.
Oh, we wouldn't. I mean,
come on.
It's definitely interesting, but it just happened. I'm like 7'5", a native from.
But just because you're 7'5", man, doesn't mean
exactly.
I mean, I think we would know who.
And there's probably a reason we still don't know who he is.
So he's leaving. By the way, I don't know.
Okay, here's Kyle says he played at Simon Kenton. He's legit 7'5". He sucked.
Okay, all right. I was like, because some of my followers were like, why don't we just go after him? Well, we can't go after him just because he's 7'5".
Yeah, I mean, guys, come on.
How big is the kid at Florida that can't play a radio?
7'9".
7'9". He's a damn ogre.
My wife's like, why don't we try to get him? I'm like, because he's
making
terrible.
up and down the court, you guys.
Right.
Let's not be ridiculous.
Okay. I never. If a 7'5" guy played high school basketball in Kentucky and we don't know about him, that's a red flag.
Dude should average 42 points a game if you played in the 9th region. Come on, Coach. You know that if you're listening. You know that.
Okay.
The centers in the 9th region are 6'4.5", and they all played football.
How do you end up at USC's? I don't know. That's another
That is
discussion for another
crazy.
day. But I'm like, how do you?
I tell you why he's leaving. Though.
That's Musselman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
That's Musselman.
He's leaving because Theo Ratliff's twin boys that are 7'3" are going to USC next year.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Played with
All right,
Iverson
but-
on the Sixers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember Theo Ratliff.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, y'all, you guys want to talk about? Okay, I just want to throw this out there. You guys want to talk about an
He says
idol?
A3.
One of my idols, dude, Allen Iverson and that 76ers team from like the late 90s to the early to mid 2000s. As coach, I had the headband, I had the arm sleeve, I had the finger bands. I'm talking like AI was AI before artificial intelligence. Like when people say AI, I still think Allen Iverson.
No doubt.
Dude.
Did you watch the practice press conference?
Oh my
We're talking
God,
about
yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it live. I was like, he's losing his mind here on a reporter.
He stuck to it though. That's what was so great. He never fell away from it. He stuck with it the whole
Talking
time.
about practice. Talking about practice.
Talking about practice. Come
He
on.
said, I gotta do everything for his team. You talking about practice.
Scored 38 last night. We talking about practice. Come on. Come on.
So
Shoot.
I'm hearing I just seen, and I can't find it, of course. I don't think there's, if it's down to Chris, because I heard you say this, and I know I said this to Austin earlier. If Freeman's down to Kentucky and Bama, he's ours.
That's what it looks like to me, brother.
Surely to goodness.
They have 12 guys already on their roster. 12.
Do they really?
Yes, and 5 of them are over 6'9".
Everyone's trying to imitate the Michigan roster makeup.
They are. Yes, they are.
Yep.
But go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That's how I feel too. I told some people, and I feel terrible about it, that it was almost a lock that we get robbed.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson in the portal. Until I see it concrete. I have the feeling, we're going to get Freeman, but I'm not bending to be. Chris Adams said.
Yeah.
Well, Chris said we was going to get him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm not doing any more anything but portal. I feel like I'm pretty good at that, but I'm not. I've learned this. Somebody could sweep up.
That's why Coach kept on saying, we're going to do a show. We're going to do a show. It's like, talk about what? What are we going to talk about?
Exactly.
All it's going to turn into is an hour session of bashing Mark Pope again. So why don't we just hold off, get some commits, get a little bit of momentum going, and then we'll do a show.
That's why we're kind of all over the place tonight. Now, when our roster's complete, I can't wait. Let's do one. Now, it'll be spot on. What's this guy's role going to be?
So let me give you guys a stat line.
One more, Trav.
Okay.
We're going to wrap up.
48% from 2, 45% from 3, 75% from the free throw line.
Say it again.
He shot, I didn't say his name, but he shot 48% from 2, he shot 45% from 3, and he shot 75 from the free throw line. And he also is a 6'4" freshman.
That we're looking at.
Maybe. I'm not sure he's one of the big names, but I watched the Patriot League tournament last year, and one of the guys that I played with in college is from Boston, and he played for Boston University. His name's Michael McNair. He hit a buzzer-beating shot against Navy, who at the time had the longest win streak in the nation before they got beat in the semifinals. He hit a 40-foot buzzer-beating three to knock Navy out and send Boston University to the championship against Lehigh that they ended up losing. But he's a kid, in my opinion, when, you hear people say that our budget is down, which I really don't agree with, but whatever they're saying is whatever. He's somebody that you can get that is, 1, not going to expect to start, 2, will come off the bench regardless, and 3, could turn into a very, very good player. Kind of like Cam Williams did. Struggled a little. I don't think the kid will struggle, but Cam Williams struggled a little early. Then he started to hit his stride before he got his foot injury, right?
Yep. Yeah, he did.
And this would be the kid that you guys were talking about earlier that is cheap. He would know his role, want to come to Kentucky, and why not go after him?
I agree.
With that stat line, you can't.
Hey, listen, if they can put the ball in the basket from behind the arc against elite level athletes and can defend, I want them. I want shooters. Listen, Coach taught me a game of basketball that we played before the current style of basketball is being played now. We ran a run and gun. Every player on the court on our team could shoot from 3 and we could freaking knock it down. If they keyed on me, then we had someone else across the court that could knock it down. Like, man, that style of play before it got popular, that's what we played. We got to have guys that can shoot. And listen, okay, Michigan won a championship with 2 made 3-pointers. But dude,
It's an anomaly.
It was an anomaly.
Exactly.
It's a complete outlier of the entire formula of winning, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
No, you're correct.
But I think, man, to win in today's game, we're number one, first and foremost, you have to have a killer point guard. And you got to have guys that can hit contested threes. You just do.
Yep.
Athletes are too good. Players are too strong. Players are too tall to not be able to shoot from downtown at a high clip. We got to have them. We got to have them. Trav, I'm going to let you go, man. We're going to wrap up. I appreciate you hopping on.
Hey, Trav, add me on TikTok, man. I love talking to you. For real.
I appreciate. I don't have TikTok, but I got you on Facebook, and I will get you on Instagram.
Message me on Facebook.
Trav is a Kentucky basketball guru, man. He knows a lot. Awesome. He knows a lot more than I know, and I'll freely grant him that.
Send me a message, Trav.
Absolutely.
All right, Trav.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Go Cavs.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Man. All right, man. We'll kind of wrap this up. Man, I mean, Chris, it's, it is what it is. We are where we are with Coach Pope. We got our point. We got our PG1. The pieces, I'm telling you, man, in these next 4 or 5 days, we need some pieces to drop.
I was going to say, in about 5 days, we'll get a better understanding. And I think in about 2 weeks, my opinion, I've told everybody the whole time, I think Stokes is going to end up picking Kansas, but we'll see.
We'll see. And listen, man, I'm not going to be completely bummed when he does, because I never thought he was coming here to begin with. Have my hopes kind of gone up and down and all the way around? Yeah, maybe so, because we get the tease of him at Rupp, and we get the tease of him, showing up on campus and taking pictures with people, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It could be a good thing. Now, I'm not trying to judge the kid, okay? But it could be. We may look back and think, and we could look back and say maybe it was a good thing Stokes didn't come.
Could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Could be a blessing in disguise. So we will wrap that up, guys. Chris, man, I appreciate you hopping on.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to get back on the wagon. And I was a little rusty, to be honest with you. It's been 2 weeks since I've done a show. So
I'm the same way.
Listeners, thank y'all for hopping on YouTube Live. This was BBN Unfiltered, where Kentucky fans tell it like it is. Chris Adams joined the show. Let's gain some momentum. Let's keep on cheering for our Cats. Let's keep on fingers crossed for these recruits to fall, and let's get some momentum. Hey, if you're going to be at the spring game tomorrow, I'll have my hat on. If you see me, say hi. You might even we can even do a quick interview and just tell us what y'all think about Kentucky football, what your hopes are. But if you see me, come say hi. And
same here.
We appreciate y'all. All right.
See y'all in the morning, hopefully.
We'll have a good one. We'll see you.
See you, man.